Hello, and welcome back to English with Confidence. I'm your host, Eric, and today's episode is all about a skill we use every day but often overlook introducing yourself in English. Whether you're meeting a coworker, a neighbor, or someone online, nailing your introduction sets the tone. With me is Ruby.
Thanks for having me, Eric. I've seen firsthand how a confident introduction can open doors, both socially and professionally. We'll break down simple phrases, practical tips, and even those awkward situations where you're unsure what to say.
Absolutely. Ruby goes step by step, so no matter your level, you'll walk away ready to make a great impression. Let's dive right in. Before we get to the phrases, let's talk about why introductions matter so much. Ruby, why do you think a strong introduction is important in English-speaking cultures?
Great question. In English-speaking environments, the first impression often guides how others perceive your confidence and friendliness. Research from Harvard Business Review even shows that people form lasting opinions within the first 7 seconds of meeting.
That's incredible. So, a well-crafted introduction isn't just about words, it's about making people feel comfortable and showing respect. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's like a firm handshake. You're signaling openness and trustworthiness, even before the real conversation begins.
Let's get practical. What's the simplest formula for introducing yourself in English if you're a beginner?
Start with your name, then add a detail such as your job or where you're from. For example, "Hi, I'm Ruby. I'm an English teacher from Seattle." This structure is clear and universally understood.
I love that. Would you recommend learners memorize this pattern first before adding more details?
Definitely. Once the basic structure is second nature, you can personalize your introduction based on context, like adding a hobby or your reason for being there.
Switching gears, professional situations can feel intimidating. How should someone introduce themselves in, say, a job interview or business meeting?
In formal settings, it's important to include your full name, your role, and a relevant detail. For example, "Good morning, I'm Ruby Chen, a project manager at InnovateX. I specialize in digital marketing strategies."
That's concise yet informative. Do you think adding a personal touch, like a recent achievement, helps in these contexts?
Absolutely. Sharing a brief accomplishment, such as "I recently led a campaign that increased sales by 20%, demonstrates your value right away.
Now, not every introduction is formal. What about meeting new people at a party or hobby group?
In casual settings, it's fine to relax the structure. You might say, "Hey, I'm Ruby. I love hiking and just moved to town." This invites others to connect over shared interests.
That's a great point. It's like giving someone an easy opening for follow-up questions, right?
Exactly. It encourages natural conversation, which is the goal in any informal introduction.
Sometimes introductions don't go as planned. Maybe you forget a name or stumble over words. How can learners recover gracefully?
Mistakes happen to everyone. If you blank on your words, just smile and say, "Sorry, I got a bit nervous. Let me try that again." People appreciate honesty and humor.
What about when you forget someone's name right after meeting them?
It's perfectly polite to say, "I'm sorry, could you remind me of your name?" Most people are understanding, especially if you show genuine interest.
Let's not forget nonverbal cues. How can body language and tone of voice enhance an English introduction?
A warm smile, steady eye contact, and a clear, friendly tone can make even a simple introduction feel welcoming. Studies show that 55% of communication is nonverbal, so your posture and gestures matter.
That's fascinating. Would you say practicing in front of a mirror helps with confidence?
Absolutely. It helps learners become aware of their expressions and practice speaking with energy, even if they're nervous.
Culture shapes introductions. What are some differences you've noticed between English-speaking countries and others?
In the US and UK, people often use first names quickly and value friendliness. In contrast, some cultures prefer formal titles or avoid direct self-promotion. Understanding these nuances prevents misunderstandings.
So, should learners adjust their introduction style based on where they are?
Yes, observing how locals introduce themselves is key. Adapting shows respect and helps you blend in more smoothly.
Let's bring this to life. Can we role-play a quick introduction, maybe at a networking event?
Of course. "Hi, I'm Ruby Chen, a digital marketer. I recently moved here and am eager to connect with other professionals.
Fantastic example. Rehearsing these scenarios, even out loud or with a friend, builds muscle memory.
Exactly. The more you practice, the more natural it feels when you're actually in the moment.
As we wrap up, what advice do you have for listeners who still feel anxious about introducing themselves in English?
Start small practice daily, even in low-stakes situations like greeting your barista. Over time, your confidence will grow. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, and each introduction is a chance to improve.
Great advice, Ruby. Consistency really is key. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Be kind to yourself and celebrate progress, no matter how small. Every conversation is a step forward in your English journey.
Thank you so much, Ruby, for sharing your insights, and thank you to our listeners for joining us on English with Confidence. Remember, the best introductions are authentic and practiced.
It's been a pleasure, Jamie. I hope everyone feels a bit more empowered to speak up and connect.
Join us next time as we explore small talk how to keep conversations going after your introduction. Until then, keep practicing and stay confident.